Grandson of Right Thought. This message is for those on the ark, the chosen, the elect, the ones who have made their time here effective by doing what Abba wanted us to do, which was to seek after him. Those who made that their priority and their time here, their time of instruction, their time of guidance, they heeded to Abba's call. The Israelites came out of Egypt and they went to the wilderness. And many of them perished in the wilderness. Most of them did, actually. And as we read the scriptures, we see why they perished. They perished because of their unbelief. So I want to tell you, elect, right now, don't perish for your unbelief. Don't be left out there in the wilderness as a corpse for the birds to feed off of because of your unbelief. Hang tight to the one who delivered you from the bondage of sin when you were lost. Y'all remember? Crying those bitter tears of confusion, of bewilderment, honestly, amazement, appalled, utterly shocked at what you've had to endure. Because I don't care what nobody say. It's a very strange thing to be hated without a cause, ain't it, elect? That's a strange experience when it actually happens to you. Truthfully, it happens to you. It's a very strange thing. And the only thing that keeps it from being strange or us being amazed, thrown off, the only thing that keeps that from happening is Abba Yah's word. Because his word told us not to be. And that reminds us to stay focused, to bring our emotions back in check, to bring our feelings into alignment with his divine thought, which is his words. That creates a peaceful environment within. You see, we read the kingdom is within. So you prove where you are, whether you're in the kingdom or not, by how you respond to circumstances. Those who respond emotionally are not founded on right thought. See, because your thoughts cause your feelings to follow suit, don't they? Now, as I've always taught you guys from the beginning, you go back and search my videos, you'll hear me say it. It's your thought and feeling. The male and female that you are, that God created in the beginning, when it says male and female created he them and called their name Adam. The male and female in the being, married as one. That is the mystery of the whole scriptures. Remember, the husband and the wife becoming one flesh. This is a mystery concerning Christ and his church. You see that? The church is the feminine aspect of the relationship, is it not? Isn't the church called the bride? That's the feminine. Christ is called the bridegroom. That's the masculine. He's the husbandman. His thoughts guide us through life as a husband's thoughts should guide his wife through life. When her emotions or her feelings get thrown in disarray, his right thought guides her back to the truth, lovingly. So in order to make it into the promised land, you elect, to hang on into the end and endure, in order to do that, you have to remember that it is about your thoughts and your feelings and no one else's. It's not about what they say to you. It's not about what they do to you. It's not about what they hurl at you. That's all just a test to see if you believe the truth of I am. Is his name I am or is it not, guys? So he's bringing you into the truth of I am, which is bringing you into his body, the body of Christ. The only I am that truly exists. The only embodiment that exists, the body of Christ. the body of truth, in other words. Now, you guys know that the body can get invaded and function improperly, right? But once the healing occurs, it's able to purge that thing out of the body, the cancers, the diseases, the whatever it is. The body will purge those things out of the body, and it will return back to its true state. And that's what's happening here. So I want all of you to know, in order to be in the Garden of Eden, you have to be unified in one. Adam and Eve have to be one in order to be in the garden. Once the thoughts and the feelings are no longer one, then you're no longer in the garden, or you are no longer in the kingdom. Y'all understand that, elect? So I'll give you an example of what I mean. If I hurl an accusation at you, if I call you stupid, your thoughts, if they are righteous, then that thought I threw at you will bounce off, and your feelings won't change, or your wife won't be affected. But if I throw that thought at you and your thoughts are not founded on a rock of who you are, then you will start to believe my thought or my curse that I threw at you. And then you will start to change your feelings. They will follow suit with the thought. You understand that? So those who have come into the kingdom cannot be swayed. They are founded on a rock. And that's what you read in the scriptures. That's what Christ was telling you. To be founded on a solid rock of truth. I am this, I am this, I am this. Now, before anybody ever talked to me, I already have established that within myself in truth. Now, when I go out into the world, there are going to be things that are trying to convince me of a lie. That is the training ground. That must occur. So don't think it's strange. That's what he's saying. Don't think it's strange. In order for you to live, you must love yourself. The only way you can love yourself is to be tested. You understand it? To see if you truly do. And God is I am. The only way you can love I am is to love yourself. Truly, right? So that's what the test is about. You read in the scriptures to not worry about what you'll eat, but yet you live in a 3D world where you're vexed and stressed about what you'll eat. You have to get a job. You have to work a job. A lot of you guys work unpleasant jobs just for the necessity of eating. But his word tells you, take no thought of that. So you have to believe that. How do you prove you believe it? Your feelings will match it. Once you know that that's true, that you don't have to worry. And how do you know you don't have to worry? You test it. And so as a witness of it, somebody who in 2016 walked away from his career forever, and I have not worked since then, and I'm here talking to you because I have food and bread that y'all don't know nothing about. It sustains me each and every day. His word does. I don't take thought of eating because he told me not to. I'm obedient to that. That frees me up to then do this, what I'm doing now. For the elect, you see? Y'all understand that? So it's imperative that you bring your thoughts and feelings into one, because that is the only way you can be in the garden. You can't be just thoughts and you can't be just feelings. The divine order is that the husband rule over the wife. Well, that means that the thoughts rule over the feelings. And that's why he gave us his word, so that his word or the thoughts that he gave us would rule over our feelings when they get in turmoil or tossed to and fro, tossed up and down. Or as he said in the word, tossed on the waves. It brings fear. Don't you understand that? And what is the enemy of love? It's only one thing. It's fear. That's why the scriptures say perfect love casts out fear. So what does it say? It says a man that has fear has not been perfected in love. So are you afraid today of anything? Are you afraid of being fed? Are you afraid of being warm? Are you afraid of having shelter? Are you afraid of having love? Are you afraid of not having companionship? Are you afraid of being left out? Are you afraid of being alone? Then you've not been perfected in love. You don't believe his word. If you're afraid of being alone, then you don't believe his words that says nothing can separate me from the love of Christ. You don't actually believe it yet. So if nothing can separate me from his love, and he told me he would never leave me or forsake me, how am I ever alone? I'm not. So every time a lie comes in my mind and tries to get my feelings to agree, see, to get my feelings to agree, which makes it real, once the husband and the wife do it or have sex, then the baby comes, you see, the manifestation comes. So if you can follow me, you know what I'm saying. Now it's got you. Once the feelings agree, it's got you. So now you do like Christ do, peace be still. And how do you do peace be still? With the word. So whatever your fear is today, give it over to Christ and let Christ tell you the truth about it. You be hungry, you don't have no food or something, you be like, oh, okay, hold on, man, I ain't had no food, man, I'm hungry, man, what's going on? I ain't got no money, no this, no that. He be like, look at the birds of the air. Do they got a job? You be like, no. He be like, did they eat today? You be like, yeah. He be like, ain't you worth more than that bird? You be like, yeah. See how easy the truth do? And then your feelings start to match. Because you just be knowing it's true. You be like, that's just true. The bird ain't crying on the branch going, I need to get a job. I need to go work for other birds. So that he ain't doing that. So then neither should you do it. It's like Christ did. You see? So that's the lesson that we are to follow in these last moments before we're carried out of here. It is impossible to please him without faith. So we must have faith in his words at this moment. Because like I told you guys, you will lose your jobs. You will. You will lose your homes. You will lose your spouses, your children. And it doesn't necessarily mean death. It just means separation from these things. That may be required by you, or else it wouldn't have been written in there. And as a witness, I can tell you that I had to lose all of those things so that I could gain the truth. So then I'm bearing witness that it's true what he said, that he wasn't lying. He wasn't making anything up. He wasn't exaggerating anything. He loves us, so he told us the truth. So when I lost it all and I said, wait a minute, okay, this hurts. See how my feelings are going? This is hurting me. It feels like everything's at doom and gloom. Really, it was the truth was happening to me. You'll lose these things for the kingdom's sake, and you'll gain 100-fold. So because of his truth, my feelings got corrected. Hold on. I lost those things so I could gain something greater, just like Job did. Job was wealthy, had a good life, had a great family and friends and everything, good respect and all kind of stuff. He lost all of that. But what he regained in the end was greater than what he originally had. See how my feelings are just going to go up when I read that and go, wait a minute, I ain't lose nothing, I'm gaining something. See, the lie is off of you. So the fear went away, didn't it? Yeah. Yeah. What did Job say when he lost everything? My fears have come upon me. Israel, did you hear that? Listen closely. Listen closely. If you're kind of half listening to this message, stop for a minute and listen closely to what I'm about to tell you. Did you hear that? My fears have come upon me. So nothing is happening to you just because it's happening to you. It's happening to you because you're creating it by your thoughts and your feelings. He doesn't want Christ and the Father don't want you to create harmful things for yourself. That's all they're doing for you. They're loving you. Truth and love is going to liberate you from your fear. Abba doesn't want you to create slavery for yourself. He doesn't want you to create bondages for yourself, dependencies. He doesn't want you to do that. I am liberates from you are powerful over me. I am will liberate you from that. You see that? I am will do it. I am fed will liberate you from I am hungry. I am fed will liberate you from it. In his name you shall be saved. Call upon his name, Israel. Call upon it now that you know it. Now that you know his true name. Don't get caught up in all the fanciful sounds that you hear people say that you don't even understand. Don't get caught up in that. His name is simply I am. That is simply what he told us for all generations forever. So don't change it. Let his word be true. When you're afraid, claim that I am brave. That is the liberating strength, the right thought. You see? The grandson of right thought, telling you the words that will change your feelings from those lies into the true feelings of peace and joy. Peace that no man can understand. It passes all understanding. Why? Because they can't understand why scary circumstance is happening to you, and yet you're at great peace within. They can't understand that. It's strange to the world. But that's an exhibition of, I mean, that's an outward showing of your faith, which is within. It's showing your faith by your works, by being peaceful, by having self-control, by not lashing out, by loving your neighbor as thyself. Truly, not hypocritically, not saying you love your neighbor, but meanwhile you're hating them in your heart. That's not true love. And Abba knows your heart. So strip your heart before him today. Confess your faults. Make your clothes as white as snow. For he cometh for his bride, y'all. So prepare for the bridegroom. Silawam Yisrael.